The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests. If you're a sensitive snowflake that may get easily offended, then turn this off immediately. If you want to hear the real truth about the gun culture, then stick around. This is the Armed Citizen Podcast.
What is going on, my Ghost Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. This is episode number 116. We are streaming live as always on YouTube and simulcasting as always over on gunchannels.com. And if you're not, familiar with gun channels by now, sorry. Go check out gunchannels.com. It was started 6 years ago by G Webs, and it's a great pro 2A community that are very welcoming. Anyone that has any questions, if you're new to the 2A arena and you have any questions or you just want to find like-minded people, then come on over to gunchannels.com. The water's warm. We don't bite too much. And it was built by gun owners for gun owners to have discussions just like this. I want to say a big shout out to everybody out there watching live. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're new to the chat, new to the channel, new to the podcast, then welcome. And we hope we don't disappoint you and hope we don't make you any more dumb, but I can't guarantee that. But if you're a returner, then what's up, my homies? And thanks for always tuning in. If you guys have any questions tonight, go ahead and in the chat, tag me in them and I'll try to get to them. If you want to, you can text them to me at 530-364-4678, and we'll get those questions asked as well. I'm going solo. I haven't gone solo on a live podcast in a long time, I always have Clover and G and some special guests and all of that. But tonight I just wanted to kind of go and do a solo thing that, I try to use the live podcast to bring guests on and all that. Typically on the produced podcast is when I kind of do my solo thing, give my thoughts on different things. And occasionally I'll have a guest on that, but I'd like to bring them onto the live so you guys can interact with them as well. And so I usually leave the produced podcast to the solo stuff. But I think, tonight, let's relax a little bit. We're going to talk the GLOCK 44, which is out. We're going to talk about the Gundies, video game guns, Christmas wish list. Hell, basically anything you guys want to talk about, we'll talk about. So if you're out there in the chat and you're new to the show, go ahead and say something so we know that you're here and let us know where you're from and all of that and all that. So we'll kind of get going. And there's some good talk out there. I spent a little bit of time today at the range with Off the X out there, and he was able to find a Connex box. And basically, we have at the pistol range, we have a large trailer, a tractor trailer, kind of an 18-wheeler trailer. And that's where we kind of stage our targets and all that stuff. And in the back, we got a little cage. We put some steel. But most of our steel's over in a big barn that we have there at the shooting club. And so I was wanting to get something to bring the steel over towards the pistol range, so it's a lot easier to get access to and all of that. And Lance was able to find a Connex box for a really, really good price. And he can tell you, but I think it's like an 8x10x20. So it's a great size. And it was delivered yesterday. Thanks to Lance for finding that. So today we went over there and watched him shoot some trap for a little bit. And then we got in there and cleaned it up and got some ideas, had to level it and everything else. But it was good. So we did that. And then tonight. So let's see what's going on out there. Let's see what everybody's saying. Jay Monty, I said, before the show started, I said 2-minute warning, go get your popcorn and beer. And Jay Monty says, I've only got cognac tonight. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. Jacob out there says, last gun live I watched on YouTube, people were talking about how they didn't have to have high IQ. That was probably me. I'm not very smart. I eat crayons. So I'm just trying to make my way through the idiocy in this world. So it is what it is. Ferrets with Guns says, so sad about the GLOCK announcements. In his honest opinion, they missed the boat to tourists love his TX22 1500 rounds without an issue. Rich White, Mr. 1% himself says, howdy, folks. I'm from Imagination. Stan out there with SS Spawn. Hey, what's up, Stan? How you doing? E-Rock, hello from Miami. Currently in Georgia, looking for a crib. Well, man, why are you moving from Miami? Miami is awesome. I love Miami. Atlanta's not, or Georgia's nice, but Miami's great. But hope everything's going good for you, E-Rock out there. New York Outcast says he went shooting today in the rain. Road was covered with ice, but it was worth it. Hell yeah, it's worth it. Got Mystic Guns. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Mystic Guns is the artist formerly known as Snob's wife. So what's up out there? Like I said, if you guys have any questions for me, this is kind of like the free-for-all and all that shit that you guys can go ahead and put out there. Let's see here. Fud Daddy says, overheard at the Glock HQ. I'm so sick of the ammo cost at SHOT Show. All these clowns shooting up all the ammo, which that was weird. I mean, I guess that's probably good. I don't think Glock's too worried about the ammo cost. Jacob says, Ghost, where would you go for a gun range if there was not one in the city you live or you don't have the property for it? Honest to God, I mean, if you find the closest range, obviously, if you don't have the property to do it, or you live in the city where you can't shoot, and there's literally not a range around you. I mean, honest to God, I would sit there and say there are a couple different options that I think are very valid, and people are going to get pissed off about this. One of them not going to get pissed off. The other one they might. One of them is going to be dry fire. Man, dry fire. I dry fire every day. I mean, I shouldn't say it. I try to dry fire. I probably dry fire, honestly, 5 or 6 days a week. I'm probably going to miss one every now and then. But I dry fire. I think dry fire is amazing. So dry fire is, you can really work on your mechanics, work on the draw, work on different things. Obviously, you're never going to be able to truly simulate that round coming out and the explosion that happens. But, I mean, it is what it is. But dry fire can really, honestly, that will help you in a lot of ways. The second thing that I would suggest, like I said, this might be maybe an unpopular stance. People might get mad, but I think it's a valid way. If it's the only way, is there are a lot of great companies like Umarex that will make some airsoft guns that are identical to the gun that you probably have, especially if you've got a Smith or a Glock or a SIG or HK. They're going to make airsoft guns that are identical. They'll fit in your holster and everything. And you can go ahead, and if you want to shoot some target stuff, you can shoot. I wouldn't suggest it all the time, but you can shoot the airsoft stuff inside, especially maybe like in a garage or a basement or something. Yeah, I would suggest airsoft just to get the mechanics and get the triggers pulled. Obviously, you can do that. But dry fire, especially if you've got one of those little laser attachments on the rail that can do like an app and shows your times and accuracy and all that, dry fire is the way to go, especially if you don't have a range. But don't discard or discount airsoft for practicing your mechanics. Once again, nothing's going to purely simulate, in my opinion, the actual shot, but you can do a lot of things that can help. Let's see here. Have I seen a new Ruger Dragon 1022? I have not seen it in person. I've seen pictures. It does look pretty cool. I'm looking forward to maybe handling that at SHOT Show a little bit. Let's see here. Mystic Gun says, my range is so far away. She has to open her back door. Yeah, that came out wrong. I didn't mean for you to. She did not have to open. She has to open the door to the backyard and go outside. So yes. What's up, Southpaw? How you doing, brother? Clayton, what's up, my man? Clayton is out there. It was he's a fellow Tactical Response James Yeager alum. That's where we met. What's up, my man? Fud Daddy says he's literally using a shirt anytime I'm timing in, workout, and shoot garage targets, airsoft. Yeah, I mean, he's in a cert. Yeah, assert guns are great. I mean, obviously, if you've got the money, go spin a cert. You can do that. It's wonderful. Get some really, really good. And I've seen Kevin's garage. Obviously, not in person. I haven't been down to his house yet. Guy hadn't fucking invited me yet, but whatever. It is what it is. No, he's got some different targets and different things to simulate threats and all that. It's pretty cool. But yeah, cert guns are phenomenal. Yeah, go for it. Those are going to be like about the same weight. Go get a blue gun if you can. I mean, anything that you can do that's going to simulate, obviously it's not going to be the real thing, but simulation will help. It may not be the best thing, but if you can't get to a range and actually pull off some triggers and get some rounds and lead down range on a consistent basis, there are a lot of things that you can do to make that happen. Jacob says he saw on someone else's channel. What are you doing watching someone else's channel? I mean, what the hell, dude? You're watching somebody else's channel? I'm just kidding. He said he's watching on somebody else's channel about a long time range shooters getting lead poisoning. Is that something that you really know? Dude, I've been shooting for 25 years now, and no, I don't worry about lead poisoning. I mean, I don't know. I think that if you maybe work at an ammo manufacturer and you're handling, but they're going to wear gloves, so I don't worry about lead poisoning. No, I don't. Let's see here. So Clayton says he's headed to Camden in the morning for immediate action medical. Awesome, dude. I can't wait to take the medical with him. Looking forward to it. So now Kevin invites me to his house. We've only been friends for 2 or 3 years now, but no. I'm just now because I online begged his ass for an invitation to the house. No, he also knows if he's ever in Arkansas, he's got a crib to stay at as well. So it's all good. Let's see here. Consolidated out there. I like it when Tech Daddy turns on the smoke machine in his garage. I don't think that's a smoke machine. Just saying. Mike Sykes says plan on making it down to Tennessee and taking fighting pistol this coming year. Mike, I don't know if you've ever taken a class with James, especially fighting pistol. I'm not and I think people know this about me, especially if you've been watching the channel for a long time. I'm not a big Jaeger fan as far as YouTube goes, and I had him on the show a couple years ago, a year and a half ago or so. And, he knows that I'm not a big fan of his and all that. And he flat out just challenged me, said, dude, have you ever trained with me? And I said, no. And he said, well, come train with me, then judge me. And so I went and trained with him. It was about a little over a year ago now, and took fighting pistol with him and met some awesome people up there. Clayton was one of them. And I'll say this, I'm not going to watch Jaeger's YouTube stuff. And I think that a lot of stuff that comes out of his mouth, true or not, makes no difference to me. It's just, whatever. But I'll go train with that fool anytime, anywhere. As far as the passion that he has, he takes the training seriously, and he has the passion. His staff is very passionate about training. They do a phenomenal job. I'll go train with Jaeger anytime, anywhere. So even if you're not a Jaeger fan and you get a chance to go train with him, it's a must. You got to go do it. Kevin says he's been out of crayons. Wouldn't have been appropriate. Yeah, right. And the whole instructor zero is better than James Jaeger, yeah. I mean, I think that I would say I have never trained with zero. I can only go by what I see on YouTube and all that. I would say that probably zero is a better shooter. I don't know. I think the whole experience with Jaeger has taught me not to judge somebody until I experience what they're doing and where they are. And so, yeah, on paper, I would say that zero is probably a much better shooter. As far as training, I have no idea. I just know that Jaeger is very competent, very passionate, and very good at it. Regardless of what you may think about it, when it comes to training, it's the real deal. And so, yeah, it's what it is. Unknown user said Jaeger has damaged the 2A community. Like I said, man, I don't. As far as what he does on YouTube and his mouth, that's on him. All I can vouch for is the quality of training and the quality of instruction that you're going to get when you train with him. Like I said, what he says and does on YouTube, I don't watch it. What he does and says on YouTube is on him. Do I think he's harmed? I don't think that people can harm the 2A by what they say on YouTube. I think that people can interpret what everybody says however they want to. And if you believe that he's damaged a 2A from what you've gathered, absolutely. I mean, but I it's hard for me to sit there and say, has anyone damaged the 2A? I don't think that any of us, and this is going to sound crazy, I'm like a tiny fish, but I don't think anybody in this social media game no matter how small or how big you are, truly has that much impact on the 2A. I think that we can have impact on rallying people and getting people together, getting a message out, giving out information and giving out our thoughts and our opinions on things. But the 2A, I mean, we're talking literal 2A, the politics and the Constitution is not going to be affected by us on YouTube. I truly don't think so. Clave's out there. Clave's another one that I met over at Jaeger. We just talked about Jaeger. He said this time last year we were there. Yeah, it was a little over a year ago, a year and a week or something like that. But yeah, I had a great time. Looking forward to get back in over there this next summer. I had to take basically the whole year off of training. I don't think I went for training this year as far as traveling. I did a lot of local stuff. But as far as traveling for training, I went down to Texas and trained with Charlie Melton, did some long range stuff, did some 1,000-yard shooting and stuff like that. So that was cool. But yeah, I had to take some time off with family stuff that's going on. But next year, I'm really hoping to get back into the training and all that. What's up, Joe Ziola? So let's kind of talk about the Glock 44, guys. And it was unleashed out there to the public, and it'll be released officially on January 20th of next year while we're at SHOT Show. And as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, the 20th is range day or industry day at the range. So range day is when it'll officially be released to the public. And let me get you guys' thoughts. For me, I mean, is it a natural evolution? I mean, I guess in a certain sense, Glock coming out with a 22 LR handgun, a 10-round 22 LR handgun for concealed carry or whatever. I guess it's because I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look like a race gun, like a Buckmark or a Ruger Mark IV or whatever for, steel challenge. So I don't think it would be a competition gun. It's built with a 4-inch barrel, so it looks like it's a concealed carry gun. I guess I understand that Glock wanted to get into the 22 LR business, but I don't know why. I really don't know why. I mean, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm not going to buy one. And honest to God, I'm not even going to go shoot one at range day. Honest to God, I'm not going to go shoot one. I have no desire. I don't fault them for it. I don't, it is what it is, but I could really give two shits about the Glock 44. It's what it is. Jacob says, I've never been to a gun show before. What exactly happens at them? Are you serious? It's a bunch of people selling guns and gun accessories and all sorts of good stuff. You've never been to a gun show, bro. Come on. I don't know where you live, Jacob. If you don't want to tell us, you don't have to, but if you wouldn't, maybe just put the state that you're in, Jacob. And if you want to really kind of go overboard and find out what a true gun show is, in Tulsa every April and November, it's called the Wanamaker Tulsa Arms Show. It is the largest gun show in the world. It's 11 acres under one roof, over 4,000 or 4,500 booths and tables set up, and it's a massive gun show. Southern Indiana, you're not too far from Tulsa, Oklahoma. You can get there. Come down in April and November. A bunch of us, Clover and G, and a bunch of us are there every year. Twice a year, we were at Wanamaker and we hang out, go to dinner. And this year we rented a house and cooked out for a bunch of people, probably, 20 damn people there. It was a great time. But yeah, if you want to go to a gun show, we'll take you to a gun show. Anybody else out there? But let's get back to the Glock 44 and I want to get your guys' opinion, and you guys kind of let me know out there in the chat. What do you think the reason is that Glock has gotten into the 22 LR game? Because, like I said, looking at this gun, it's obviously it was designed like any other Glock to be basically a concealed carry gun / duty gun. I don't get it. If there is that much demand for a 22 concealed carry gun, I mean, I don't know. I'm not knocking 22 LR for concealed carry. I'm not saying that, but I just don't know if there's the demand for it. And it's not a race gun. You can look at it. It was not designed for competition. It's not like it's, the Buck Mark or the Mark III or Mark IV from Ruger. It's not that. So people aren't going to be going to steel challenge matches plinking with it. So I personally don't know. Like I said, I don't fault them. I get it. I just want to get your guys' thoughts. Why now? Why all of a sudden? Have they literally run out of ideas to do so that 22 was the next evolution of Glock? You know what, Glock? And I know it's not going to happen as long as the old man's still around. As long as Gaston's there, there's not going to be. But I'll say this. If you've run out of shit to do with Glock, and I'm a Glock fan, I really love Glock. I respect what they are. But if you've run out of shit to do, how about a fucking AR? How about a revolver? Get in the revolver game. Get into the AR game. Get into some pistol caliber carbines. Do something. Can you imagine? No shit. Can you imagine the ape shit that would happen if Glock ever got into the AR business? Because someone's got a Glock AR in their drawer just waiting for the old man to go. Gaston's probably saying nope. But once he's gone, I guarantee you there's plans for revolvers and ARs. Do it now. You want to see Glock go from here, who's already a big dog. But can you imagine how big of a big dog Glock would be if they got into the AR business? Holy shit. That's what I'm looking for. Let's kind of go over here. Calaveras says, the issue I have with Tulsa is now my local gun shop will always be disappointed. That's true. If your first gun show is going to be Wanamaker, you're screwed forever. Just saying. Let's see. Unknown user says, in my opinion, the Glock 44 is just a novelty made simply because they're out of things to build. And that's exactly right. I just think they've done everything that they can do. Booger Dog out there, low recoil, standard Glock platform, great to start women, new shooters. I agree. I am not discounting Glock, and I'm not discounting Glock a 22 LR. I just think that 30 years have gone, almost 40 years of Glock, and they're just now deciding to come into the 22 market. It just seems odd to me. I'm just a little disappointed in this, to the timing maybe. Let's see here. It is a cheap training and 22 LR. Like I said, all right. So I bought my daughter a gun for Christmas. She's 22. Go figure. She's got access to all my ARs and all that, but I was going to get her first AR. I was going to get her an actual AR pistol, 9mm pistol or a 223 pistol. But I was going to get one for Christmas, and I was at Wanamaker, obviously. And I'm walking by and I see a P90. And if you guys don't know, go Google. Not now, damn it. Hold your horse and stay here. But when you get a chance, go Google FN P90. Awesome looking gun. Anyway, she plays a lot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And her favorite gun on that is the P90. So I'm looking by and it's actually a ZK22. And basically what it is it's basically a P90 shape and frame on a Ruger 1022 chassis. So it's a P90 that shoots 22. And I said, shit. And I got it for a steel. They don't make these anymore. So I got it for a steel. And so I bought it for instead of the AR. First of all, it's small. I mean, it's about the same size as AR pistol. It's a bullpup type thing. So it's got 18.5-inch, barrel, but it's a small thing. Just Google it. You'll see a picture and say it's badass. But anyways, I got it in 22 LR. Well, hell, she can go and spend $50 and get 1,000. I mean, geez, you can only imagine for $50 what you could get. Maybe a couple thousand rounds of 22 LR. So I got that for her. So I love the 22 LR round. And yes, it's great to get people, especially women and kids, on low recoil, everything about. I just wonder why Glock now. Why now? SHOT Show's coming up, so they had to have something to release at SHOT Show. And they want the 22 LR to be their grand thing at SHOT Show. I don't get it. I love Glock. I love Glock. I just don't get it. And maybe I'm just wrong. I don't know. Let's see. It's cheaper. It is a cheap training gun. I get all that. I'm all for it. It's just weird. Rich White says, with Glock's numbering system, I'm wondering if it was a foreign model that they decided to release in the U.S. Glock 45 was already a thing, and they named based on patent. Glock's whole numbering system is kind of messed up. I mean, it is what it is. Travis P11 out there says a Glock carbine. Would it not be sweet? Can you, honest to God, imagine how many of those fuckers they would sell in the first week if Glock were to come out with an AR? There would be the Glock lovers, there would be the AR lovers, and there would be the Glock haters who would buy one just to try to prove that it sucked. But my God, how many of those things would sell? Oh, you're talking about historic numbers. Glock AR-15 platform. Holy shit. Bring it on. Just saying. Let's go back up here. I'm going to try to catch up here. Southpaw, Advantage Arms, Tactical Solutions, make 22 conversion kits for Glocks. Yep. Ghost, you don't want too much from Glock, dude. Nah, I just want a carbine. That's all I want. That's all I want. Lance out there says, Ghost, I had read that they claim that it's a training gun where you can train on the cheap. I get it. 9mm is cheap. And like you said, I can go get, for $8, go get 50 rounds of 9mm. I mean, good Lord. I mean, I get the 22. You can get it for what, $4 for 50 rounds or $3 or whatever. But come on. I mean, man, just saying. I mean to go on a rant there. Let's see here. Wanamaker's a super model of gun shows. Oh, man, I'm telling you. Two Live Moose says he'd buy a Glock PCC. I'm just telling you, that would be fucking awesome. Screaming Skull Saloon, double stack, 5.728. Yeah. That's what the FN, the P90 is, a 5.7 by 28. Getting some text here. I'll give those texts here in a second. Let's see here. Jacob says, same age on my own. Jacob, we'll get you there, bro. The fact that you're interested and you're willing to talk about it and all that, you're around good people in this chat and all that. They're going to help you, and we're going to get you there. You're in Southern Indiana. That's a bit of a gun country also. People like guns in Southern Indiana. So we'll get you there. Yeah, Keith's right. I mean, the Glock 40, it's going to sell like hotcakes. You're right. It is going to sell. I'm not going to buy one. Anything Glock's going to sell. And there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be interested in a 22 LR Glock. I just don't understand it. That's just me. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. It's just for me. I don't, whatever. Consolidated says Gaston wants a pistol he can shoot with his feeble hands. Maybe. G West says 12 thumb. You have 12 thumbs, man. People like you. You said the P90 is awesome. It is. Skullswing has a PS9. That's what, semi-automatic P90, but PS90, yeah. I don't understand Stargate SG1, MM53 out there. I'm not a Star Trek guy, but I don't know what that means. I'm not very smart. You might have to let me know what that means. Let's see here. Travis says maybe Glock wanted a shot at the Taurus. I mean, I guess, but I mean, I have supreme respect for Taurus. I honest to God don't think Glock worries about Taurus or anybody else. I don't think they give a shit about any other manufacturer in the world. They're not trying to compete with anybody. That's my honest opinion. G says that Yankees video is on point about the new Glock. I haven't seen it yet, but I will go watch it. Let's see here. Jay Monty, do you have any guns chambered in 22 short, 25, or 32 obscure stuff? I do not. I do not have anything chambered in 22 short, 25, or 32. I do not. Jacob says, I saw on the Firearm blog said it was going to be a popular overseas. I'm sure it will be. I mean, it'll be popular here. It's going to be popular everywhere. I just personally am not excited about it. Keith says maybe the Glock 50 will be an AR-15, or it might be a 50 cal, their version of the Deagle. Can you imagine a Glock Desert Eagle? That would be the Glock 50. Just saying. I think that they would go back to the Glock 15 for the AR-15. I think that's what they would do. Glock 15. That's what I think they should do. User says I wouldn't even have to be an AR platform if Glock made a 9mm PCC. The Glock, yeah, absolutely. A PCC and all that. Clovertac says no links. I'm going solo, brother. I might bring you in here a little bit later, but I haven't gone solo in a live in a long time, so this is gonna be kind of fun, just hanging out. Right now we're talking GLOCK and shit. So it is what it is. Onion says SG1 is Stargate, and they use P. Oh, okay. See, I guess I don't watch Star Trek, so I didn't know they were using the P90s on SG. Yeah, it is what it is. Jacob out there, Stargate 51 is a whole nother TV show. Once again, guys, I've honestly, the only thing Star Trek I've ever watched is I remember as a kid loving The Wrath of Khan, and I'm not a Star Trek guy, but I love that movie. I thought that was a badass movie. And then the couple of later movies that I've seen, I think it's Chris Pine or whoever it is. I enjoy the new Star Trek movies, but I've actually never seen, like maybe scrolling through the channels, seeing here and there. I've never sat and watched an entire episode ever of any Star Trek show. Just not a Star Trek guy. I'm a Star Wars guy. It is what it is. But no, that's just what it is. G says my calendar must be wrong because it's December 0th, and we are on YouTube watching a live gun channel. I don't know. It is the 10th. I don't know. G's new laptop has a bad one key. I'm gonna get that shit fixed, bro. Stargate isn't Star Trek. Oh, I don't know. I thought it was Star Trek SG1 or something. I don't know. Whatever Stargate is, I've never seen that either. So I'm sorry. I don't want to offend the Stargate people out there. I didn't mean to offend you. I don't know what Stargate is, apparently. And it is what it is. All right. So the Glock 44, it is what it is. Next thing I want to talk about something that it's kind of been a weird week, the last week or so. There's a scene called the Gundies. And I heard people out there talking about them, and I saw a post about them about a week or two ago, and I thought it was a joke. Matter of fact, Tack Daddy had sent me a text message talking about something, and I was like, "Are these real?" He goes, "Yeah, they're real." I thought they were a joke, and I get this email from the Gundies saying I've been nominated, and can I fill out this profile and stuff, and so I didn't realize it was real until then. And, but I mean, I want to say whoever nominated me, I don't know if it was a viewer or someone at the gun. I don't even know who's running the Gundies. But whoever it is that nominated me, I appreciate it. I have no fucking chance in hell of winning anything, but I appreciate the fact that some of you out there, or at least someone out there, thinks that what we're doing is valid and needs to be nominated. I appreciate that. Jacob says he voted for me. Clovertac says he would love your vote in a person who couldn't care less category. Thanks in advance. Like I said, what's up? Is that Caleb Popejoy? I hadn't seen Caleb in a while. But I didn't know this thing was real until I had to fill out this profile and all that stuff. And it was kind of cool that you can be nominated. And I think, let me go over here. I'll put the link up there. And I guess what I want to say is go vote for me. I mean, I don't stand a chance in hell. I get that. But I mean, hell, if we're going to do this, let's do it right. But there's the link to the Gundies, and it is an award. But the cool thing about it is I don't think the people who win anything, which is cool. The people that vote can win. And there's some seriously cool prizes. So I've been nominated for three, I don't know what you call them, categories. One of them, well, none of them I stand a chance in. But one of them is best shooter. Well, fuck. I'm in the same category as Dustin Ellerman. And I mean, these are Top Gun people, I got no shot at that, but thank you to someone who thought I'm a pretty good shot. I think I'm a pretty good shot, but I'm not that good of a shot. I'm not at that level. I'm pretty good for Heber Springs, Arkansas and all that. But yeah, I mean, but I'm voted. I mean, I'm up there for best shooter. Fantastic. Another one I thought was funny that I saw was, Rich is out there. He said he voted. Well, thanks, Rich. I appreciate it. He said most likely to survive the apocalypse. I really don't know what this entails, but it sounds pretty badass. And maybe with my experience and my training that I've had over the last 25 years, I would like to think that possibly I could survive an apocalypse. So if you want to vote for me for that, fantastic. And the third one is best gun reviewer. Now, this one I have no chance. I understand that. But I thought that would, of all the ones that I could be, that would be the one that I think that I would love to be nominated for, because I do take pride and passion in doing what I think are pretty solid gun reviews. And I take pride in the quality of content that I try to make it nice and the quality is good and all sorts of stuff. So I put a lot of time into my reviews. And so when I found out that I was nominated for that, that made me happy, because I was like, at least someone out there appreciates the time and the effort to do that. So, yeah, I'm happy. And like I said, the links out there, the Gundies.com, I think the voting goes to the end of the month. I think you can vote once per day per category. And I've actually nominated a couple people. Once I knew it was a real thing, I nominated a couple people to be included, and I don't know if they will do that or not. Clover Tech says, dude named Will Ranke from Partner Forge Relations is running it. I had never heard of Will Ranke or Partner Forge Relations. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. Like I said, thank you. Thank you to whoever nominated me out there. I appreciate it sincerely. I thought it was a joke until a few days ago. But if we're going to do this, then I'm going to throw it out there and say, I would love your votes. If you think that my shit is good enough for you to vote for, go to thegundies.com. You can vote once per day per category. So there's like 10 categories and all sorts of different influencer of the year, best photographer. And there is some other gun channels, guys. I know Sarge is out there for something, maybe most influential or influencer of the year. I know the obnoxious one is out there for photographer of the year. And there's a lot of people out there. You're going to recognize most of these names that are to be even, like, honestly, sounds crazy and it sounds cliche, but honestly, God, just to be nominated to be a part of the conglomeration of some of the people that are there. I mean, hell, thank you. Like I said, thank you so much for whoever nominated me. I wish I could find out who it was. If it was you, let me know. Tell me the chat or call me or email me. Let me know it was you. I got something for you. I'll send you a little thank you package. So thank you so much. But yeah, hell, at this point, you got the end of the month. Please go vote for me. Like I said, I'm not going to win best shooter. I'm not going to win any of them, but best shooter, that's funny. Dustin's in there. Plus, I mean, we've got some like world-class competitive shooters in there. So fuck that. I'm done with that. But go vote for me anyways. Then survive an apocalypse. I think that's kind of fun. I don't even know what it's about. Like I said, I would like to think that I could survive an apocalypse. And then best gun reviewer. That's the one that I would, that's awesome. So thank you. And like you said, people out there say they voted for me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, go to Gundies.com. And like I said, the cool thing about the Gundies is is just for voting, you're in for some shit like, okay, so like most likely to survive the apocalypse. If you vote for me in that one, then you're going to be able to eligible to win like the Diamondback truck cover, a Diamondback HD truck cover. Best shooter, another one I'm in there. If you vote for me in best shooter, you're going to be entered into a Ballistic Advantage custom AR-15 rifle. I mean, that's no shit. Like, you're seriously going to win some serious prizes. What was the other one that I'm nominated for? Gun Reviewer. If you vote for me in Gun Reviewer, the more times you vote, which is once a day for that one, Vaultec safe. You're going to get a Vaultec safe. You're not going to get it, but you're entered to win. You can win a Vaultec safe just for voting. Not me getting it. The people who vote will get a Vaultec safe. So yeah. Anyways, G Webb said, sounds like an opportunity to reach new people. Yeah, like I said, I thought this was a joke. I had no idea this was a real thing. I who knows? I don't know. It's cool, and it's like I said, it's awesome. Thank you, but I thought it was a joke. User says kind of hard to vote for a man who doesn't watch Stargate or Star Trek. I know. I like I said, I knew I was going to piss some people off and lose some votes that way, but it's all good. All right, so let's move on. Christmas wish list. This was something that what do you guys, if you guys are out there, I want to hear if you're buying yourself or anyone else guns or firearm accessories or anything 2A related. What are some of the things that you're looking to buy for yourself or other people? Or if you could have someone buy something for you, have you told your loved ones, hey, if you're going to buy me something, this is what I want. It's a gun stuff. I'm interested to hear. Alaska Blizzard says, I'm in the Gundies and love Stargate. There you go. I'll have to go vote for you. I don't know what Alaskan AB, what categories are you in? Because I'll go vote for you, bro. I have no problem doing that. Unless you're against me. Just kidding. Jacob S is on my list of Star Wars. I've yet to watch any of the movies. Oh my good God, my man. Oh my God. God bless you. God bless you. So you're an up and coming gun person that is yet to own your own firearm, which is fine. Everyone's going to be there, and we're going to help you out with that. But you've never seen a Star Wars movie. I know you're about 22, 23, I think you said, and you've never seen any Star Wars movie? Holy Jesus. What's wrong with you, son? My daughter's 22, and we're Star Wars fanatics. So, hey, thanks, AB. I appreciate it, man. What categories you in, bro? And I'll make sure I go and vote for you. Let's see here. Pope Joy says definitely going to go pick up a new rifle, either 308 or 300 Win Mag, and either Howa or Bergara. Help me decide. Oh, man. Man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of those. I only vote for all the hottest gun bunnies. Well, I am definitely not that. Armed Apes has got yourself a full auto BB gun. Is that hell yes, that counts. A full auto BB gun. You can have some serious fun with that thing, man. That would be awesome. Let's see here. Full auto BB gun. Clover, are you out there? Do you want to come in here? I know you were asking for a link here. I'm gonna go ahead and just put it in the chat because I can control who comes in. So we'll talk about maybe what you want for Christmas. I don't mind putting that link out there in the yard. Because mandatory carry has with the Star Trek emoji or whatever that's called picture. Go see Alita. Thank you very much. And I just got a Glock 22. Very good, my man. And thank you once again. Merry Christmas to you, brother. And man, that was very nice. A $10 super chat. I really appreciate that. So Clover, I put the link out in the chat for you, and you can join. Let's see here. AB says bought himself a Beretta APX for Christmas. Nice. Everyone knows I love Beretta. That's great. William, what's up, William Keller? How you doing, my man? So let me ask you this. Let's get back to the Glock just for a second. Not the Glock 44, just in Glock. I wanted to see a raise of hands and be honest. Don't sit there and shit on and hate on Glock just to say you're shitting on or hating on Glock. If Glock was to come out with an AR-15 or a PCC, an AR platform, whether it's whatever caliber you want, or a PCC, tell me, a rifle, tell me how many people would actually honestly buy one, because I think it would be one of the hottest selling things ever. Let's bring Clover in. What up, yo?
Hey.
Everything good?
Oh, yeah.
So I want to ask you right off, if Glock was to come out, and I know that you do like Glock, but you're not a Glock fanboy lover, okay? But
Correct.
you appreciate Glock. If Glock were to come out with a PCC or an AR platform, what do you think? I think it'd be maybe the hottest selling gun ever, honestly.
Would it have worked out a lot better had they come out with one years ago?
Absolutely, it would.
They would absolutely dominate and rule the market. But I think it's definitely would be a moneymaker for them even today.
Yeah, no, I mean, and you and I have talked about this. I think that someone's got an AR-15 model in his desk drawer just waiting for Gaston to go.
You know what? I've said it a bunch of times, and then the G44 hit. I cannot believe Gaston allowed a deviation into a
right,
fire
so
pistol.
you probably missed the first 20 minutes, and I went kind of off on that. I love Glock, and I love the 22 LR. I don't understand. Are they just truly out of things to do? I mean, honestly, why now? Why did they not get in the 22 LR game 30 years ago? Have they run out of shit to do?
No, they haven't, because they haven't done anything.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So, it's the whole, people are not understanding the Glock mentality, first of all. So if you're out there, Glock, Rise of America's Gun, get it, read it. It's awesome. It will give you tons of insight on the Glock and the way the company works and how Gaston thinks and all that stuff. But that being said, if you pay attention to the company, that's what was so shocking to me. Is I know a lot of people are, there's a lot of hate and a lot of crap going around, and I'm still reeling from it, because it's like they've changed up some grips and they've changed up some stippling, and they've put a rail, and they put an ambidextrous slide release, and they've done some goofy stuff like that. But this was a major deviation from their thing, their wheelhouse. It really is. And if you go back and you look at their mentality when they developed the G17, right? There's a reason it's Glock perfection. It's not that it is, the most perfect pistol on the planet or in the world or that will ever be developed. But that was their company. The way their company thought was that that's the most perfect product that they could absolutely put out. And they've adhered to that for years. They've deviated from that design very, very, very little. So for them to go rimfire is crazy.
It's crazy. I want to do a shout out real quick to Alaskan Ballistics, a $2 super chat. Thank you, brother. I said the Glock 44 should have been a threaded barrel. No, if you're going to go 22,
okay,
you're at least allow them to suppress it. Absolutely. I agree.
Let me address something that I'm hearing. I'm hearing a lot of this stuff. I agree. There should be larger capacity magazines. I agree. Here's the thing, gentlemen and ladies. It has to be available before aftermarket and before all of this other stuff. There will be threaded barrels that come out for that thing. I can almost promise you. There will be extended magazines, higher capacity magazines that come out. I can almost promise you there will be. But it has to exist first, right?
I just don't get it. Like I said, I love Glock. I am a Glock fanboy.
Okay, there's they build the PPQ. They built a PPQ in a 22. They built an M&P in a 22. There's nothing innovative or crazy.
I'm saying 40 years later, why are they just, if they're going to do 22, why are they just now getting into the 22?
Maybe control. Maybe Gaston's released a little bit of control over. We don't know.
We don't know. Gaston said, "I don't want 22 in the lineup."
Maybe he's finally. I know there was some lawsuits. There was a lot of other things going on with him and his kids and whatever in the past. Maybe some agreements were made, and he no longer has, complete totalitarian control over stuff. That's a possibility.
Yeah. Now, Weston out there, he's absolutely right. This couldn't be a more truer statement. He said, Glock is like Apple. They don't have to be innovative. They can barely change it, and people are going to go crazy about it.
They solidified themselves. Long ago. Glock ain't going nowhere.
And I'm not mad at Glock. I'm really not. My biggest thing, I just don't understand why now. Like, honest to God, we're a month away from SHOT Show. This is going to be released literally the day of Industry Day at the range. Literally. So every one of their fucking mother is going to try to get over there and shoot that Industry Day.
Right.
You want this to be their showcase gun for SHOT Show. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Well,
I don't know.
If you look at, and I was talking to Brian earlier from Hunter Safety Gold.
Yeah.
And obviously he's big into the shooting sports stuff, right? And I just asked him point blank. I said, "What do you think about this for the shooting sports world? This G4,
not this gun."
He thinks it's going to be pretty big, and I do too. And the reason is,
built for a race gun, though.
It's not, but it's a Glock. You know there's going to be aftermarket tweaks, and you know there's going to be other things. And if you're talking about a stock gun category, right? I think you can get it done. And then the other thing is the amount of sponsorship and other things that goes on, and the amount of money that Glock dumps into the shooting sports realm too. So a lot of people are looking at this from I would never carry, or I don't need that to train, or okay, well, broaden your way of thinking a little bit and look at
I'm all for the 22. I'm all for 22 in training. I get it. It's a great cheap way to train. I'm loving it.
I wasn't accusing you of that.
Glock gets just now 40 years later. I'm having a hard time for me to wrap my head around why a month prior to SHOT Show that the Glock 44 wants to be their flagship for the next.
Here's another thing that's weird. Glock marks their models moving up, right?
Yeah.
We're on what, the 40? Before this, we were on the 48, right?
The 48 and the 48X. 48, yeah, the 48 came out.
48 and 48X. Yep. So this is a 44. So this is a 44. So this was designed.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Years ago, that's what's weird and is boggling my mind, is this thing was designed years ago.
Yep.
So I get you. Why not till now? Maybe they had to fine tune stuff on it. Maybe they had to figure something out. Maybe they were just waiting for an opportunity in a foreign market with some legislation, or who knows, right? With Glock and understanding the company and the way they operate, maybe with this being some very similar platform to a lot of stuff that security forces use, that militaries use, that law enforcement use, maybe they were securing contracts with people worldwide, or units or organizations, right? Militaries, security detail, whatever, worldwide. Maybe they were busy securing and selling this out to some type of a contract or something on a worldwide basis to test the waters. And now, after they've got that, full well that's where they're going to make their money.
No doubt.
And then now they're like, okay, well, since we've paid for all the tooling, we've paid for all the R&D, we've paid for all the design. Here, John Q. Public, here's the G44.
And here's my thing. Honest to God, I think the Glock 48 is one of the best guns that Glock's put out. Okay. I think that it should be considered for one of the best guns of 2019. Really do. Instead of releasing that a few months ago, why not wait for the Glock 48 to come out next month and bring the 22 in midsummer when people are out actually plinking and doing competition? I just don't get it. Like I said, so this weekend, and someone who's out there, user out there says, I can't see the Glock competing with Buckmark, the Rugers, and the Smith & Wesson.
Okay. Now on precision.
Hold on. I'll come to you right with that. Yeah. This Saturday, I'm going to shoot a Steel Challenge match about an hour and a half from here. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go, because there's usually about 50 or 60 people at these Steel Challenge matches. And I can't wait to just ask these people, because most of the people that shoot Steel Challenge are using 22. Let's be honest. Yeah. And I'm going to ask them and say, hey, you guys seen a Glock 44? Would you ever consider using a Glock? Because I think most everybody out there will say that it's the Buckmark or the Ruger Mark III or Mark IV. And I see some Smith & Wessons, but mostly it's Buckmark and Rugers that I see at competition with Steel Challenge. So I'm going to be interested to hear what they say. Like you said, you think it could be big in a competitive world. I don't know. I don't see it, but maybe it will be.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think that when he's talking about being able to compete, here's the thing with Steel Challenge. That's about speed. As long as the action can cycle and it can get on, you're not talking about any type of precision. You're talking about a 10 or a 12-inch piece of steel at 25 yards. Okay. Yeah. That's not anywhere close to precision. If you're talking about shooting a precision match, yes, the Buckmarks, the Rugers, the Victories, and even other ones are going to kick even those butts. I mean, if you're getting into Hammerleys and some of the higher end Browning and stuff like that, so there's always going to be something better. But the thing with Steel Challenge with speed steel is, as long as it's able to cycle that action and get back on target, you're fine.
Yeah, I just like I said, for me, I'm looking at the pictures of this. I'm on Glock's website earlier today, and I'm looking at this thing, and it looks like a Glock 43/48. It's just what it looks like to me, but it's a 10-round 22.
Right. Well, 10 rounds. First
it
of all,
looks like a concealed carry gun. I'm just like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand it. If you're gonna go 22, then let's go like into a new design for the 22. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Completely change it up where it doesn't look like the other one, but then you lose potential training aspect of it, right? So you start, right now, okay, you could use it for steel challenge, you could use it for a trainer. If you completely change the design where it's more of a competition style pistol, then it's not ergonomically, and manual of arms is not going to be similar to the long history of Glock platforms. So you sort of lose the familiarity with that stuff in a training scenario. So you're lessening your market. And let's face it, Glock knows what they're doing.
I know that. It's just me bitching.
We will never understand it,
motherfucker, dude.
No matter,
it's gonna smell like hotcakes.
Oh yeah. No matter how much we try, we're not. We are not the billionaires they are. We have not been through.
There's no reason why they're Glock.
We have not shredded the industry over and over and over the way they have, right? And so we just don't have that experience. We don't have that mindset. So it's hard to really see. You really got to step out of the box and step back to get an idea of where they're thinking on this.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I'm all for it. Let me ask you this. I brought this up earlier. Yep. So we're at the Glock 48. We know that they've already got the Glock 50. Whatever the Glock 50 is, it's already been designed. It's already been designated the Glock 50. Mm-hmm. I would like to see the Glock Desert Eagle as the 50.
Man, on a polymer frame, that's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Maybe this is the one they don't go polymer frame. I'm just saying. But wouldn't a Glock 50, wouldn't a 50 caliber handgun named Glock 50, that would be badass.
That would be awesome. I agree, it would be awesome. But I don't see Glock under Gaston. I don't see Glock investing in or changing up tooling enough to take it from polymer to metal.
I get it.
You're right.
I mean, if you're going to do the Glock 50, you've got to do it, right?
They're all into minor deviations, right? I mean, look back at how Glock just whooped all over Smith & Wesson when the 40 came out, right? They literally seen the 40 round at SHOT Show, made a call to Austria, and like the next day they had a pistol, right? That's the way they operate. It's like, what can we tweak? Minor changes, tweak, and have something new. Tweak something minor, have something new.
Let me ask you this. Excuse me, I didn't mean to burp. Let me ask you this. So the Glock 50, it's coming out in the next year. It's going to be out in 2020, whatever it is,
right?
Because it's close. It's got to be. So the Glock 50, at this point, what do they do? Do they start going to get some obscure rounds with maybe 32s?
You know what I would like to see? Honestly? This is more practical. It's something that I think there's a gap there for. And I'll tell you what I'd like to see, and then I'll tell you my very wishful thinking, which would be an engineering feat, and I don't at all see them doing this, but I'll give you both of them. First, 22 Magnum. We've got 22 Magnum pistols out there, but they're the freaking Kel-Tecs and you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mean, what if you had Glock? I mean, people that really knew what they were doing and really had the money and everything to put the R&D and the machinery and everything into it, right?
Would you rather have a 22 mag or the 32 ACP?
The 22 mag, without a doubt.
There you go. Okay.
Without a doubt. Now, that being said, 32 ACP on a smaller frame on something like the 42 frame?
Like a 43 or something?
Yeah, well, I'd rather see it on the 42 because 42 is a little bit even smaller. But, if it's 32, I would prefer it to be small frame, of course. But, yeah, 32 on a small frame. But 32 is just it's not a popular caliber at all. 380 at least has some popularity to it, right? Now,
cool saloon out there says 22 mag and the 5.57 by 28. I love the 5 by 28.
That's a possibility.
That's a badass
here's the wishful thinking when we're talking about the unicorn, and nobody's done it, and this is really what I would like to see. Them do 17 HMR. Right?
I mean, sorry.
That could be cool.
I'll tell you what. If anyone is going to rise up and bring back the 17 HMR round and make it popular, Glock could do it.
It's not an unpopular round.
No, it's not something that people talk about like in handguns. But if Glock did it, it would be part of the discussion.
The main problem with that round, and I know that I love mine, but the main problem is, I mean, you can pop turtles at 150 with no issue, except for wind. Yeah. But if you're talking about close in, if you're talking about handgun ranges, oh man, that thing is smoking because it'll get there before the wind has a chance to affect it. It's so fast.
I'm kind of liking Keith out there says Glock has to come out with a revolver sometime.
Again, you get.
I don't think they ever will, but okay. So the revolver is just like the AR or a PCC, right. A carbine. If and when Gaston goes and Glock introduces an AR and a revolver series, ball game.
Right.
Buy stock to Glock the day that Gaston dies. Buy stock to Glock because the next generation of Glock people are going to have that shit going.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I think. I don't know. I mean, we like the Monday morning quarterback a lot, right?
And we're not rude company.
So, Glock has been around for a while, and regardless of what you think of them, they're a dominant force in the market. They're a dominant force in the industry, and they always have been. They're not losing ground, contrary to what people might think. Oh, Glock is slipping and sliding. No, they're not. And so if they start deviating, here's the thing. People are like, do something innovative, deviate. You do the same thing. You do. They're dancing with what brought them, man. So when they start deviating like everybody wants, then what? Exactly. Then what? Had you rather Glock deviate into some crap and then in the next 5 years they go the way of who was the Texas company that built the cool thing, the Hudson? They go the way of the Hudson.
They went under. That's right. Now, user out there says Glock will never make a revolver or a 1911. It's the antithesis of the business model. It is for Gaston's business model.
And
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think even when somebody was to take over, I don't foresee even his kids or somebody going either one of those routes. And I don't honestly see anything even in the AR platform. The most likely thing you're going to see as far as rifles, if you ever see any type of rifle or something that comes out of Glock, it's going to be European. We almost know this without a doubt, right? It's going to be something European style. And when you think European, what do you think? Bullpups, right? It's going to be PCC or bullpup. It's going to be some type of a short, small rifle package.
The MP5, which they go against HK.
Yeah, a lot of polymer, a lot of stuff like that. Yeah,
poor man's HK MP5, which means it's affordable. I'd buy the shit out of that.
Right. Well, and that's another gripe with this G44 is they're saying MSRP is $400. Well, people are like, oh, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much for a 22. It's too much for a 22. Have you bought a Buckmark lately? Have you bought a Ruger Mark lately? And then even if you go with the cheaper pistols, have you looked into the 1911 or the Beretta 92 variants of 22s? Have you looked into some of that stuff? They're just as expensive.
Yeah.
As far as MSRP.
William Keller says he wants to see a small framed 10 millimeter single stack. I don't think if I want to go 10 millimeter, I don't want it on a small frame.
Smaller than what? Smaller than the little one they've already got? What is that? The 21?
But I don't think it's not like a 43 or 42. It's for like
it's definitely not. I don't know that it's
19, right? It's about the size of a 19.
Yeah, it's a little smaller, I think, than a 19.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to see it. No, this is just me. I don't want to see a 10 millimeter handgun in the size of
it's rough
Shield or a 43. That's too small for me.
The smallest one Glock makes, and right now the model escapes me. If you're out there in the chat and you know what, by all means throw it in there. I can't think of it, but the Scrimmage Skull says it's the G29. Keith Gregory says it's the 29. So I'll go with that. Yeah, I believe you. That one, whichever one it is. I've shot one. It's brutal. I've got a G20 and I love the G20. That G29 is brutal, man.
G20 is about the Glock 17 size, is it not?
Yeah, it's bigger. Bigger
than the 17. Okay.
Well, it's a little thicker, a little wider. Yeah, same profile. Yeah, same mag and barrel length profile. Yes, a little bit thicker. Yeah.
Now this is gonna be maybe for you, Clover. I don't hunt, Jacob. I don't hunt. I don't have anything against hunting. I just choose not to get up at fucking dark 30, stand in water to shoot a fucking duck. I choose not to do that. I have no problem with anyone else. But Jacob wants to know. Now, Jacob, let me give you a little background. Jacob's been around for a while, and I appreciate it. I love him. He's 22, 23, somewhere early 20s, and he's never been to a gun show. We established that tonight, and we also established he has not owned his own firearm yet. So he's getting involved in the gun community, but he's asking a lot of questions, which I love. This question I'm not going to answer for you because I don't do it, but maybe Clover will. He wants to know, what do we think the most affordable hunter pistol would be? I hear a lot of people talking about 44 mag different hunting, but I don't hunt. So do you know much about pistol hunting?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's I don't know, it's pretty standard.
I don't know.
Now he said handgun, right? Is that what he said?
He said hunter pistol.
Pistol, okay.
Revolver's being used a lot in hunting. So
revolver is going to be, in my opinion, revolver is going to be optimal because you're really going to get into your 357 Magnums and your 44 Magnums, which are optimal. And if you're going to go that route, I would probably say, quite honestly, I mean, hunting, you're not really worried about bang, 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 and a bunch of follow up and other stuff necessarily. Pistol hunting is going to be fairly close range and everything else. Ruger Blackhawk comes to mind for me on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, if you're talking about taking it out to a semi-automatic platform,
that's a
whole different ball game. And at that point, I mean, you're almost going to have to go with something 10 millimeter love, man. You're almost going to have to go 10 millimeter.
10 millimeter, 45, hell, even a Desert Eagle. I mean,
45 is okay, but the problem with 45 that you get into with hunting is going to be the velocity loss, man. It slows so quickly, and velocity equals energy.
If you're hunting with a handgun, you're not going to go out very far. It's not like you're taking a long shot with it.
Right.
What's up, Seven? User says Glock's image was built on making the 1911 and revolvers obsolete. To make either one of those would be to admit that they didn't succeed in replacing those as the new king of the hill. I think initially, if they were to come out in the 80s or even in the 90s, in the first 10 to 20 years of their existence to do that, yeah, I would agree with that. I think that Glock is way past the point of having to prove that they're viable.
Yeah.
I think Glock is Glock. And they can withstand some heat because people will buy that shit. They're past that honeymoon stage, in my opinion. What do you think, Clover?
Yeah, I think so. I think that now, like I said, since they've scorched the market for so many years the way that they have in the industry, I think they could come out now almost in a spiteful way and go, oh, remember those revolvers that when we completely did away with and all law enforcement back in the 80s? We made one that's like revolutionary and totally better now. So here it is. Here's the way. You remember when Smith & Wesson was trying to sell revolvers and we whooped their butt with the Glock 17? Well, this is the revolver that should have been created by Smith & Wesson.
Yeah, and that's how they could market it. Yeah. The way revolvers were supposed to be made, or something. Whatever.
Right.
I think they're way. This is just my opinion. I think they're way past the point of having to prove themselves. I mean, they are. There's 5 or 6 companies that are giants, and they're one of them. If you do the Mount Rushmore, this would be fun. Hell, let's do this.
Right.
Let's do the Mount Rushmore of gun companies. You get 5 of them.
And there's another component to this Glock thing too that we haven't discussed yet. And I don't know that we can discuss it now because it just left my head, unfortunately. But that sucks. Because it was important.
It was a doozy, huh?
God, it was.
Let's talk about something. Maybe it'll come back.
Oh, I remember what it was. It's the simplicity, right? That's one of the big things with Glock now is the simplicity and being able to take 20 Glocks, take them all apart, throw them in a box, shake it up, put it all back together, and it doesn't matter at that point, right? And
That's
so when you start getting into a 1911, you can't do that. The manufacturing process, it's impossible with the manufacturing process to do that. You also not be reliable, right? Be as reliable as it was when you tore them all down and threw it in the box, right?
Right.
That's not going to be possible. And with a revolver, same way. Yeah. So when you start getting into the simplicity and the reliability of something like that in mass production, I don't know. That's why I say I don't know that Glock will ever deviate down those roads.
Yeah. Before we go, I actually want to do a Mount Rushmore before we get off tonight. So be thinking about that, Clover.
Okay.
Gun companies.
5 gun companies.
5 gun companies. The Mount Rushmore of firearms manufacturers. Jacob S out there says, what do you think the oldest known handgun that is still popular today, and what is the newest in the market? Well, the newest in the market is the Glock 44 because it was announced today and will be released on January 20th. So obviously that one. The oldest handgun that is known is different than what is the oldest handgun that's still popular. As far as the oldest handgun that is still known, I don't know. Clover would probably know that more than I would. But I have to say the oldest gun that is still being bought and copied, all that, it's got to be a 1911. I mean,
1911 design for sure.
Design of 1911 has to be because that's still, it's the benchmark of semi-automatic handguns. That's it. That's the one. So I would say the 1911 is still the most.
Well, hold on. He said handgun. Colt single action army.
It's still popular today. I know they're popular, but are people still buying them and shooting the single action?
Well, if you're taking it to a design, you're talking about a Ruger Blackhawk. You're talking about a Ruger Wrangler. You're talking about a Heritage Rough Rider. You're talking about, you know what I mean?
I get it.
So if we put it in the same box as say 1911, and we say single action army in the same sense as 1911, then you got to encompass every make and model of single action army.
Right. Does Mount Rushmore have 4 or 5 heads?
4.
I thought it had 5. Is it only 4? Oh shit, we only have 4 then. All right, so top 4.
Roosevelt, Lincoln.
Weston says those revolvers are popular. Yeah, the Heritage Rough Rider, that's not a popular gun at all.
No, not at all. They don't sell the crap out of those every day of the week. No. Taurus wouldn't have bought them if they Taurus felt pity on them. That's why they bought them.
So let's have some fucking fun. I want to hear all of yours out there. You put your 4 on the Mount Rushmore of firearm manufacturers, and they don't have to be around today.
If they're going with 4,
well, because it's Mount Rushmore, there's only 4 heads. You got to put 4.
So I got to cut one now. Is what you're saying?
Cut one, baby.
God, can you name the people on Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, Lincoln, Roosevelt, and Washington.
Nope.
I believe there's 2 Roosevelts, isn't there?
Nope.
Is it just Teddy?
Yeah.
So Washington, Teddy, Lincoln.
Live next door to Archie Bunker.
What?
That was a reference. I was trying to give you a hint, but never mind.
Oh man, I would say Jefferson. I was say Jefferson or Adams. Jefferson, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. So Keith Gregory says Glock, Beretta, Smith & Wesson, and Colt. Weston says Smith & Wesson, Glock, Henry, Ruger. Both of them are pretty. Those are all solid lists. Do you have? Could you cut it down to 4, Clove?
I can, but it would probably alternate. I do got Beretta on my list. They are like the oldest, so they got
mine first, so you can think about it more.
No, I've got my list.
Okay, right.
Beretta's the oldest, so they've got to be on the list. Colt, I think Colt's. Sam Colt made them all equal. I think Colt's got to be there. Glock with the Revolution. Revolutionary or innovative, but with the revolution in the industry that Glock brought, without a doubt, Glock's got to be there. And then for there, that's my big 3. And from there, it's kind of a toss up. And I probably
mine as well, and our fourth one will probably be different.
And I'll probably go Smith and Wesson because
are we matched? I didn't think you.
Well, here's the thing. I'm really big in the late 1800, early 1900 turn of that century stuff, that is really where there was a lot of people that were copying Smith and Wesson. Smith and Wesson was just the thing. Colt started it.
If we had 5, I think Winchester would probably be number 5.
Winchester needs to be there. Henry needs to be there, quite honestly.
Henry needs to be there. Hell, Remington. I mean, like I said, we can go top 10. I could do top 10 without any problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
Definitely. Winchester
or top 5. Winchester, Remington needs to be there for sure.
Oh, Walther's been around. Walther's been around for fucking ever.
Yep.
I mean, I think, oh man, but yeah, I would say the 4. I would say that the 3 are definite. Smith and Wesson and Winchester could probably easily be flipped, because we're not talking just firearms. What Winchester has done for so many things, But then again, Glock and Colts and they've all done all this stuff. But yeah, I would say that Smith and Wesson and Winchester could be 4A and 4B. If you could go 5, who'd be your number 5?
I would probably bring. Honestly, I'd probably bring Remington.
Into
5, because I mean, you got to look at the types of firearms too. And Remington, you had 1911s. The Remington Rands, you had the 1911s, you had Remington has done a few pistols over the years, but they do 1911s, shotguns and rifles. Think about the 700s and stuff. So they have innovated or been the benchmark at one time in pretty much all 3 categories: pistol, rifle, shotgun. So probably give Remington a slight edge over to Winchester.
Someone's asking about John Fu. Who the hell is John Fu? Am I missing something?
I don't know.
My thoughts are, I don't know who the hell John Fu is.
I don't know who is John Fu.
Browning. I mean, Jesus, Browning. Good Lord. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
John
Fu is great ones. And it's hard to say, and I know that we're going to piss people off by even throwing Glock in there, because you're talking about someone who's been around for 30, 40 years versus some of these companies started the revolution of firearms in America and all that in the world. I get it, but Glock changed the game of firearms. It changed everything.
They changed the industry. They changed the way things done, and realize this too.
Models, everything. Yeah.
Second Amendment landscape in this country would be vastly different nowadays if it were not for Glock.
Yeah.
Some of the plays, legal plays and court plays and other things that Glock has done over the years, because they've got the money and they don't mind throwing it out there. And they like to mess with people, right? They like to poke bears, and they did a lot of that back in the day, especially late 80s, early 90s.
Didn't doing it.
Yeah. The landscape, I think, of the Second Amendment across the country would be different if it weren't for Glock. So you have to give Glock credit not only for the industry side of things and what they changed, but also the Second Amendment side of things.
Keith Gregory says Ruger would be his number 5. Ruger, I mean, I didn't even think about Ruger. Holy shit,
Ruger is another one.
Is number 4 actually, and Colt would move to number 5.
Ruger's another one similar to Remington. You've got pistols, revolvers, shotguns. They don't do shotguns anymore, but I don't think they do.
There are Ruger, they're out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the red labels, awesome shotguns, and then obviously rifles. So yeah, I mean, Ruger is one of them. The Mark, for example, was an amazing innovation. Some of the carbine stuff we've seen come out from Ruger was awesome. Ruger's a great company. May actually break the top 10 on my list, but there's no way it gets into the top 5.
I think they're top 10 for me. Yeah, I think they're definitely a top 10.
Now, see, Wes out there saying Marlin, and everybody knows I'm a huge Marlin guy.
Sure,
but I don't know that Marlin breaks my top 10. I mean, when you think about just everything with, like I said, with industry and innovation, you put all these things together. I love Marlins, but I don't know that they were just kind of there. I don't know that they, were that significant. I don't know that without Marlin, I don't know that the landscape of anything changes at all.
Now this is interesting. Now 7 out there says, wow, he's one of the few that said SIG. I think I respect SIG, and SIG is a wonderful company. SIG needs to thank GLOCK for everything that they are.
Probably, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're phenomenal guns, but not SIG without GLOCK.
You know what? One that we did not bring up, and it depends on if you're talking old school or if you're talking new school, or if you're going to lump them together like you would Colt, because the Sam Colt era is not the same as Colt today. And Smith and Wesson and everything else is the same way. One that I don't know that anybody out there mentioned that needs definite consideration. CZ.
Oh shit! I thought you were going with Springfield, but
CZ, man.
CZ would, yeah.
Think about all the old Milsurp all the way up to I
didn't even think about that.
Yep.
HK's been around doing their thing for so long over there. And that's when we get blinded by being American, and obviously Samuel Colt, John Moses Browning. I mean, we could probably. I put it this way: our Mount Rushmore of firearm figures, people would be much dramatically different than companies, obviously, because I don't think anyone would sit there and say Samuel Colt and John Moses Browning aren't on everybody's Mount Rushmore.
All right.
That being said, you're right.
We need a much bigger mountain. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's true. According to Google ranking from best to worst, what? I don't know what that means.
Well, you got me.
I don't know. According to Google ranking from best to worst. Okay. Yeah, user right there, the CD Shadow 2 is one of the sexiest guns. All right, Jake okay, all right. So here's what he is. He's saying from best to worst. Number 1 is Smith & Wesson. 2, Remington. 3, Sturm, Ruger and Company. Oh, this is according to Google. Is Smith & Wesson, Remington, Ruger, SIG, HK, Mossberg. Oh shit, Mossberg, yeah. Colt and Beretta.
My problem with Mossberg, again, big Mossberg fan, same as Marlin. Lack of products, man.
I get it. They're great at what they do. What they do, but they don't have, I guess
with the 870 in play. Let's take it for most of us. Remington was pretty high on list, right? So with the 870 in play, would you really miss the 500 if it never was invented?
No. Ruger, Remington probably would have been like number 6 or 7 on my list. They're definitely top 10, 100%. Right. But no, you're right. That 870, that's what it is. To this day, the average person that isn't like a Remington like guy, but heard of Remington, what are they going to say? Name me one Remington firearm, the 870.
870 or the 700.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, the 700, but the 870 is.
And if it's an old fuddy duddy, maybe a 1911. But yeah, that's going to be your 3 for sure.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. Like you could have some fun with that.
I'm wondering what his list is. What is his list when it says from best to worst? That
was Google.
Best to worst for what? Though?
I don't know.
Like how big the company is, or
I don't know what he put in there. So, Jake, if you're out there, what was your search criteria to get that list?
Yeah,
he might have just put best firearm manufacturers. I don't know,
right? Or
companies. He might have just put gun companies. I don't know.
That sell the most, or one that make the most money, or who knows? Yeah.
Probably that. If you go by sales, you got to figure Glocks in there in the top 8 somewhere.
He would bigger, but I'm just going by, when he's got number 7, it says Colt Defense. So that's obviously factoring in military contracts and a lot of other stuff and whatever that is. So
Wesley wants to know, would Ithaca rank on your top 10?
No.
And if so, where would it? No, not my top 10.
No.
He said Springfield, number 10, Savage, 11, Barrett, 12 FN, 13 Taurus, 14 Browning, 15 Winchester. We've gone through 15 manufacturers, and Glock hasn't been mentioned by Google.
Yeah.
Come on. How trustworthy is that list? Let's just be real.
Right. Something's up. I don't know what that is, but something's up. Now, Savage is an interesting one.
Yep.
Because a lot of people don't realize
repeating arms number 15.
Savage had some of the earliest auto-loaded pistols back in the day. So they were kicking it with innovation at one time.
7 says, Jacob, love you, but you need an additional hobby.
All right.
I love it.
All right.
All right. So we're going to get out of here in a few minutes. Before we do, I want to say once again, if you're interested, I could give two shits. If you feel like you want to, go to www.thegundies.com and vote for me. I've been nominated for 3, 2 of which I got no chance in any of them, but one of them is best shooter, which I'm up against Dustin Ellerman, 2 or 3 top shot people and world class shooters. So fuck that. Why someone nominated for that, don't know, but thank you. Appreciate you, whoever you are. The second one is, I think it's funny, is most likely to survive the apocalypse. That's kind of fun. And then the third one is best gun reviewer. And I thought that of the 3, that's something that it means a lot to me for whoever nominated me. Thank you. I was still trying to figure out. So if you're out there, put it out there, or email me, text me. Whoever nominated me, let me know. I'll put together a really cool Christmas package for you. But thank you, whoever did that. But get best gun reviewer. That's kind of cool. Thank you so much. I hope the shit that we put out there is good. But if you're interested, you can vote at thegundies.com. There's like 10 different categories. You can vote once per day per category. If you feel like you want to vote for me in any of these or all of them, fantastic. Vote away. I appreciate all the support. But I'm up against big dogs. I mean, I don't belong in the same county as these guys, but thank you again. So go check out the Gundies. Clover, what you got coming up? You've got who's coming up on Firearm Friday this week?
Should have a local sheriff candidate.
Fantastic. Did you ever talk to Chris?
I got to get back with him. I'll try to touch base with him tomorrow. I've just been busy.
Yeah, I know you've been busy. I'm looking forward to an announcement that Clover and I are going to have here pretty soon. It's going to be pretty fucking badass. All I've got to say is gun and a lot of cool prizes.
Right. Yeah.
And that'll be announced here in the next week or two.
Maybe win in there. We could throw win in there.
Yeah, win gun prizes. Gun and prizes. Anyways, are y'all having a baby? Nope, Caleb, we're not. But we are going to we've got a firearm and some other awesome prize pack that you can win, and we're going to be announcing that pretty soon. So be on the lookout on Clover's social media, my social media, either one. You're going to have an opportunity. Jacob says he wants in. You're going to have every opportunity. It'll probably come in the next week or so, but be on the lookout. We're going to be announcing that. And you got anything coming up that you want to talk about? No,
not a whole lot. I've got a real long list of stuff I've got to get done. And
oh shit.
So that I whittle away at that a little bit here and there. And then working on the top secret project, the Patreon.
For people
Patreon people are getting privy to a few hints on that. Nobody's figured it out yet.
Yeah.
You're the only person that knows, Ghost, I think.
I was there when you came up with the idea. I was on your phone and I said, holy shit, that's badass.
The Patreon people will figure it out probably before the public reveal, but it's going to be awesome, I think. So be looking for that public reveal. Hopefully I get it done for the end of the year. I'm hoping.
Okay. Jacob says that his Google search was top 17 gun brands in the world. Budget, we're literally getting ready to go off. So what the hell? I think he's probably at work. So we had a fun time tonight. Shot the shit about some stuff. So go back and listen to it in replay. If you are watching live right now, thank you so much for being part of a chat. We really appreciate it. I enjoyed this one. Like I said, it's been a long time since I went solo. I brought Clover in the last half of it, but I went solo because I had gone solo in a long time. And I usually do solo on my produced podcast, and I use the live to bring guests on. But I wanted to go live, and we had a good time and talking about the GLOCK and talking about.
You were flowing pretty good. I was worried because
I missed it. I missed. And you do the Instagram every Monday, so you get that every week. That
Instagram, though. My wife and I were talking about that, on the way home, because I knew I was going to be late, and I told you that if I made it, I'd be late. And Instagram's a different animal, though, so it's tough to work a YouTube chat and all. It's just different than YouTube, right? I mean, than Instagram. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's much different. But like I said, I enjoyed it. And I remembered how much I missed doing the solo show, and it was kind of fun. So, but yeah, I did that, and yeah, thanks for coming in. Always love having you on, brother. Love having everybody in the live chat. If you're watching or listening in podcast form and replay, thanks for coming in. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about the Glock 44. Let me know what you think is going to be the Glock 50. What caliber do you think the Glock 50 will be when it comes out in the next year or so? And anything about the Christmas wish list. Let me know what you guys are wanting for Christmas and all that. And I appreciate you guys so much for always watching and listening. And we shall see you next time. Semper Fi.